Hello, this is Jeff from Baron Leathercraft. Today we're going to explore the Creality Falcon A1 10-watt laser. Let's do a real quick unboxing. You get all your essentials here, cables, tools. You get your manual. You get your power supply. You get your power cable. You get your air assist, which is your air supply, not the band. You get a sample piece of wood. And the rest, let's just get rid of this foam. One of the beautiful things about this machine, it is totally built. There's nothing you have to do to it, which is fantastic. Just peel away the extra protection. If you noticed, I don't know how you feel, but I thought this machine looked really cool. Here is an overview of the packing list, as well as the tools that it supplied you with. I didn't need any of the tools except for the key. Of course, there's some things you have to do, like set it up. Here I am setting up the air assist. It comes with a hose. You just plug it into the air assist and then right into the machine. Everything's labeled very easily and it fits right in. The air assist is also powered by the laser, which is excellent, so you don't have unnecessary cables running around. And of course, plug in the power supply. It comes with a key for protection, so you could take it out so no one can run the machine if you don't want to. And of course, the emergency stop button. Make sure that is off when you go ahead and set up the machine. Of course, plug the computer in via USB-C and make sure you have your exhaust set up. You'll figure that out if you don't pretty quickly. One of the reasons why this machine is considered for beginners is because it has its own proprietary software, which makes it very simple. It's called the Falcon Design Space. Keep in mind, this is still a very capable 10-watt laser, and if you bring it into more professional software like Lightburn, it'll work just like any other 10-watt laser. It does what it needs to do. Here we are inside Falcon Design, and here are many projects that you can choose to do. You just click on them and it'll bring it to the canvas section. That's where all the magic happens. Now, one thing I want to point out, and I think it's important, is that if you're looking at this wall of built-in projects, it looks really exciting. But keep in mind, not all of those projects are designed for the Falcon A1. Out of the design library, only about 20 are truly meant for this 10-watt machine. The others require more powerful Falcons, like their 20-watt or even up to their 60-watt. So here's my advice. If you're buying a 10-watt laser, make sure you know why you're buying a 10-watt laser. Don't get me wrong. It's a very capable machine. You can engrave on tons of materials, and you can cut thinner materials without a problem. But if your goal is to dive into every project in that library, you're going to need more power. If your focus is engraving, personalization, light cutting, the A1 will do that really well. If you want to unlock the full project wall, you may want to look at one of Creality's higher watt models. That way you're matching the machine to your goals. Okay. Here's where Falcon Design Space shines for beginners. This Canvas tab isn't just a blank box to import files into. There's actually a built-in library of images and SVG artwork you can use right off the bat. You can drop in clip art, customize it with node editing or freehand pen tool. You don't need Illustrator or design type chops. It's got that familiar vibe, like circuit design space, so even total newbies feel at home. And with Creality's recent updates, they've added things like material testing, DPI, controls, and rotary modes, all without cluttering the interface. It's basically everything a beginner needs under one roof. Alright, here we are in the Canvas section of Creality's design space. In this part of the video, I'm going to walk you through a few simple projects, engraving and cutting on different materials, so you can see exactly how the software works. Creality is marketing this system towards beginners, and it's really their proprietary software that makes it approachable. If all you want to know is whether the laser can engrave and cut, well, it can, and it does that very well. What I want to do here is show you how the software actually works, because if you're considering this system, chances are you're a beginner, and this is probably what you'll be relying on. One really nice feature of the Creality Falcon A1, especially for beginners, is the way it handles materials with QR codes. When you buy material directly from Creality, it comes with a little card that has a QR code on it. All you do is hold that card under the laser's camera, and the system automatically recognizes the material. From there, the software sets up the correct power and speed settings for you. Of course, you can still tweak those settings manually if you want to, but for beginners, this takes out all the guesswork. You don't have to worry about dialing things in. You just scan the card, and the machine is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and make sure the camera is on, and I'm going to display the photo. And if you want to update the photo, you just go ahead and hit the photo button. First engraving we're going to do is going to be on leather. Let's go ahead and click on an image. In the image library, I'm going to choose this pumpkin. Now I'm going to hit Control A to make sure everything is chosen. And I'm going to go to the layers section. And I'm going to change line engraving to fill engraving. Now I want to go ahead and shrink this so it fits onto my coaster. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these corners and pull it down. And then drag it onto the coaster. Let's go a little smaller to be safe. There we go. That would make for a nice coaster. So if you calibrated your camera correctly, this should fall pretty much exactly where you put it. And what that means is the laser is going to engrave or cut wherever you place the design on the workspace. So if your camera is calibrated correctly, it's going to engrave where I place the artwork. So because I'm putting the artwork on this piece of leather, if I calibrated the camera correctly, which I did, it'll engrave exactly where I need it to be. Alright, so now you also see here under materials, I could choose a material. Now, what you're looking at is veg tan leather, and they have a few sections here, but the one closest is this brown leather. I'm just going to hit confirm. So it decided that the speed should be 3000 and the power should be 20. Let's go ahead and see what this setting does. I'm curious. Let's go ahead and make sure that the laser module is focused correctly. This is the focus tool for this machine. I actually put a magnet on the back of it so I don't lose it. It has 3 different settings depending on the material thickness you're using. So what I'm going to do now is open the lid. I'm going to place the focus device on top of the material I plan on engraving. Now I'm going to actually manually go ahead and pull my laser over to it. I'm going to raise it up so I can get underneath it with the nodule. And there. Now that I have it where I need it, I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the laser and remove the focus device. Now I'm going to close up the machine. I'm back at the computer after focusing the laser module, and now I took another screenshot, and what you're seeing is the image of the laser module on top of our leather. So what we need to do is home the laser, because it's important that the laser knows where it is. And when you home it, It's basically saying, okay, I know where I am in relation to the workboard. So down here, if you click on frame, there's a button right here in the center of the XY coordinates that'll home the laser. So I went ahead and clicked on it. Let's go back to the camera and see if we take a photo what we're looking at. Okay, it's homed, but if you remember correctly, I also moved the leather when I went ahead and framed everything. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control A. I'm sure you can just click on it too and drag it back into position. So now the design is focused with the laser module, and we're pretty much ready to go as far as engraving. The engraving came out really nice. If you see, there's no banding, which means there's no lines going across it. If you look inside the mouth, look how even everything is. You got to remember that laser is going back and forth one line at a time, but you can't tell by looking at the mouth. It looks really good. Let's go ahead and bring in a piece of art that we're interested in engraving. Let's go with this monkey face. It's got a lot of areas that are dark. I'm going to hit Control A, and I'm going to go ahead and go to Fill Engraving. I'm going to shrink it down to fit onto my bed, plus we don't want it to take a lot of time to do it. The engraving came out really well. I was happy with it. Nice chocolate brown. There's no charring on the back. I did use a small aluminum honeycomb bed, and that makes a big difference. But there's definitely no smoke damage. Nice color. Alright, now that's from the camera view. And what you see here is my black anodized aluminum business card. Underneath that, I have an aluminum plate, very thin plate, just to protect the bottom. And what you see on each side of those are magnets. And the very bottom of this machine is like a steel or something, so the magnets work really well. And something as light as a business card might get pushed by the air assist device. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So let's go ahead and put another graphic on this. Let's go with Love a Pizza because, you know, let's pretend like we're making a real quick mock-up business card. So, alright, so I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to go to Layers, and I'm going to go to Fill Engraving. I'm going to shrink it down so it fits on the card. I'm also going to change the color of it because it's hard to see on there. So let's go with yellow. Alright, there it goes. That works. You can zoom in on it to see what's going on. And because I changed it to yellow, it created a whole new layer. I'm learning as you are. That's the whole goal of this video, is to see how easy things are. I'm going to hit Fill Engrave. So there it is. That's the fill. We could get rid of this black layer by hitting the garbage. This white layer, let's see if we're able to get rid of it. Yep, all right, so there's our one layer. All right, now let's go ahead and choose the material. Since we don't have the QR code for this material, let's go to Materials, click on it, come to where it says Metal, and there you go, right there, aluminum business card. So let's go ahead and black. So let's go ahead and click on that and hit Confirm. And it decided to do speed of 5,000 at 80% power. All right, great. Let's go ahead and move this over a little bit. All right, let's add some text. Let's go ahead and hit some text. I love, let's hit a space and put pizza down here. All right. Let's make it smaller. There we go. And let's go ahead and change the font. Oh, that's cool. Let's go with that. In fact, let's go ahead and put that up there. Make this a little smaller. I'm giving you an idea of how you can design and how quickly designs can be created. Let's go ahead and import another image. All right. I like garlic on my pizza. Do you want... It's giving me a warning. It's saying this import file size is too large and exceeds the canvas size. Do you want to scale it to the canvas size? Yes. That is big. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and scroll it down. Let's give this its own layer. So let's go with fill engraving. So let's go with this orange. There we go. Let's zoom in again. Shrink it down. Shrink it down a little more. There we go. This is for your pizza lovers. Now, it recognized, if you notice, that the materials hasn't changed, so it's still at 5,000 by 80. So there's a simple card. And now let's go ahead and hit start. Once again, the machine engraved very well. Everything is very clear. I like how this came out. Plus, I wanted to share with you actually how easy this software could be. Once again, everything cut out very nicely. The engraving did a great job. The edges came out excellent as far as the cutting is concerned. I'm happy with this outcome. The machine engraves well. My conclusion is that I like the Falcon A1. When it comes to engraving and cutting, it does a fine job. No complaints there. As I mentioned earlier, this machine is clearly designed with beginners in mind, and the software reflects that. At the same time, it's still a full-fledged 10-watt diode laser, and it works perfectly in Lightburn if you prefer more professional software. With that said, let's go over a few of the pros and cons I found while using this machine. Let's start with the pros. The Falcon A1 comes ready to go right out of the box. No assembly, no headaches, just plug it in and it starts engraving. The enclosure feels sturdy and safe, and in my opinion, it has a very cool look to it. And the software is very straightforward. For beginners, it really lowers the learning curve, but it also supports professional software like Lightburn if you want to grow with it. And for a 10-watt machine, it's accurate, the laser stays lined up with the camera calibration, and delivers really solid results. As far as the cons, one of the cons is that it does not come with a honeycomb bed. Creality sells a proprietary one that's thinner to fit this machine's unique clearance, but since I don't have it, I can't comment on how well it fits or performs. Just keep in mind that if you buy a third-party honeycomb, it may not fit as perfectly as the proprietary one, and it might even be too thick. So definitely do a little research before you pick up a honeycomb bed. Another issue I ran into was with the camera calibration. It was a bit finicky at first, but once I got it dialed in, it held its alignment fine. That feels more like a software quirk than a hardware problem, and I'd expect it's something Creality is aware of and likely working to improve. And while the proprietary software is easy to use, I think it could be improved in how it handles layers. When you move an object from one layer to a new layer, the old empty layer just stays behind, which can be confusing, especially for beginners. In my opinion, if a layer no longer has any object assigned to it, the software should automatically remove it. That would make the workflow cleaner and simpler. I mean, should we really even do the end scene? I mean, does anyone actually watch the closings of these YouTube videos? What?
We're on. We're rolling.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video and subscribe if you want to see more. Until then, take care of yourself, treat each other well, and I'll see you in the next one.